Obviously, thanks everybody for being here today. It's extremely exciting, when you get to this part of the year. It's college baseball season, and we're excited to get everything started next weekend against an outstanding Southern Mississippi team. We've been extremely busy and hard at work here in the last couple of weeks since we've been able to get back together as a team. I feel like we've been able to accomplish some outstanding things the last couple of weeks in terms of getting our guys ready to play. This season is going to create such a unique opportunity for us without us being able to play our first home game until March 6th this season. So obviously you'd like to start the season maybe in a little bit different fashion than we are this year, but at the same time, every single thing that we talk about here in this program is embracing the opportunity, embracing what we have ahead of us. We've known all year long that we're going to be starting the season out on the road, and I think our guys have really rallied around that in terms of bringing it each and every day and preparing 35 guys to open the season on the road this year for so much and so long of a period. I feel like we have an outstanding team in terms of makeup and character, guys with physical and mental toughness that are going to be able to withstand being on the road for such a long part of the early season for us this year. In terms of guys that we're going to really be counting on, we've got some extremely battle-tested guys that have been through the wars of the SEC and have been through winning the SEC and winning 40 games and going to back-to-back super regionals and playing in front of 10, 12, 15, 20,000 people, that type of thing. And obviously these two guys that we have sitting up here right now with us are a testament to exactly who I'm talking about. And our guys have worked extremely hard. They get after it each and every day. I love where we are in terms of what we have going on the mound right now. We're going to welcome back several outstanding arms to our rotation this year. Looking forward to those guys either competing for weekend or midweek starting roles, or those guys fitting right there in the middle or the back end of our bullpen and going to be able to give us outstanding options in terms of just elongating our pitching staff, which we did not have a year ago. Position player-wise, I feel like we've got some outstanding veterans that are back this year that are ready to have outstanding junior college baseball seasons. Jake Mangum obviously leads that group for us. He's had a terrific fall. He's had an outstanding last couple of weeks of the season. Has done a tremendous job in terms of leading our team so far and trying to help us get some younger guys ready to play each and every day. Guys like Hunter Stovall, Luke Alexander, Elijah McNamee. Did I mention Vansaw, McNamee, Stovall and Mangum. Those guys are a core that played each and every day last year and went through the battles of the SEC to win 40 and get to a super regional. And having those guys back have been able to allow us to have some veteran presence and veteran leadership that's out on the practice field each and every day for us. So we're extremely excited for the 2018 season. We feel like we've got an extremely competitive ball club. We feel like we're going to be outstanding on the mound this year in terms of weekend starters, certainly led by Connor Pilkington, who I think has been a preseason All-American in every publication that's imaginable. So certainly deserves each and every honor that he's received this preseason. His work has been outstanding. His last couple starts have been great. We're certainly going to lean on Konnor heavily this year, just like we did a year ago each and every Friday night to get us deep into ball games and give us a chance to win on Friday nights in the most competitive league, amateur baseball conference in the world. So, with that, obviously we're excited to be here. It's college baseball season. We're looking forward to a terrific season, looking forward to getting things cranked up. Next Friday at Southern Mississippi, it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us, but it's one that I think we're certainly ready for and we're looking forward to getting after.
If you have questions for Coach, let me know and we'll get a mic to you.
Hey, Andy, who's in the mix for the other rotation spots for you right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, I just mentioned earlier, Konnor is going to pitch every Friday night for us, and he is a guy that that has been outstanding for 2 years here and made 17 starts last year on a Friday night, which is incredible. And he's better this year than he was a year ago. His secondary stuff is better. His breaking ball, his changeup, his fastball command. He's a guy that's continued to get better and better with each and every bullpen that he's thrown with Coach Henderson. You know, I think this past summer, being a part of the collegiate national team, Team USA, did Konnor a lot of good in terms of just being around some of the best pitchers in the country and learning what it's going to take each and every day to be great. And so I think that's an opportunity where he had to go out there and push himself and really compete, and he's been able to take that back here this fall and this early part of the spring, and he's outstanding. You know, in terms of a Saturday, Sunday starter, Ethan Small has been outstanding as well. He's another 6'4" lefty with a mid-90s fastball, nice breaking ball, feel for changeup, has refined his mechanics and arm action to where he's become a strike thrower, and we have a lot of confidence in Ethan. Ethan's a guy that missed the entire 2017 season last year with Tommy John surgery. He's a guy that pitched 10 innings, I believe, as a freshman and struck out 20 guys. And I think he was up to 97 or 98 maybe as a freshman that year. And he's a guy that's been working 90-94 each and every outing so far. He's another guy that we have tremendous confidence in. And in terms of, you know, a 1-2 punch right now of a Pilkington and a Small, you know, I think when you're talking about two 6'4" lefties that are going to run the ball in the mid-90s with nice secondary stuff and strike throwers, I think that's an outstanding 1-2 punch when it comes to running those guys out there on back-to-back days. Sunday starter is certainly up in the air right now. We've got several outstanding options. You know, we've got a senior, Jacob Billingsley, that is certainly competing for that role. JB's been outstanding. His velocity is up this year. His secondary stuff is better as well. He's a guy last year coming into the season that had 10 career innings before he did what he did for us a year ago. So he's better. He had an outstanding summer in the Cape. He's another guy that's gotten better each and every time he's been out to the mound. I think Billingsley is a guy that's going to compete for that type of spot. Cole Gordon is another guy that could certainly compete for that Sunday rotation spot. Transfer Zach Neff, a lefty from Austin Peay. A transfer from Tulane by the name of J.P. France. I think those guys are going to be in the mix for that Sunday spot. And then if you rewind the clock back a year, you know, guys, we were basically a year ago only able to tell you guys that Konnor Pilkington was pitching on Friday. After that, your guess was as good as ours. So, you know, this year we feel like we have an outstanding pool of applicants that are going to be able to take the ball every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and really do a tremendous job in helping us win ball games.
I know Luke and Hunter both got a lot of reps at shortstop in the fall and so far in preseason. Where are they in that spot right now?
Yeah, that's another outstanding question. Both of those guys had outstanding falls playing shortstop, and I have a tremendous amount of confidence in both guys if they had to play shortstop. I think at this point, with a lot of confidence, I can go ahead and say that Luke Alexander is going to be our starting shortstop, and Hunter Stovall will be our starting second baseman. I think when you start talking about those two guys that have played for 2 years now in the SEC, that gives us a great veteran presence and a lot of ability up the middle of the field that's really going to allow us to defend at an extremely high level again this season. With a lot of confidence, I can tell you I think Hunter Stovall is the best defensive second baseman in the SEC. You know, watching him turn double plays every day, you know, watching his range laterally, you know, he's able to come get the baseball extremely well. He's a guy that's continuing to get better and better each and every day out on the field. His at-bats have been outstanding, and he's really become a leader this year for the first time in our program. LA's a guy that's going to slide over from third to short this year. LA's a guy that has lost 5 to 10 pounds from a year ago. He's moving better. His range is better. You know, I think he's a guy that's going to really do an outstanding job of defending at a really high level this year at shortstop for us.
How close is that competition behind the plate, and how do you feel about your catchers going into the year?
You know, each one of those guys have their days where they play really well. But for the most part, they're competing extremely hard each and every day. I think each one of them does something a little bit differently than the other guy does. Marshall Gilbert has really been playing well as of late, swinging it really well. He's got a chance to hit for some power. I think he's got a chance to hit some home runs this year. He's a guy that hit a lot of home runs in junior college, and he was a guy that hit a lot of home runs in summer ball last year. He's a little bit bigger and stronger and more physical than Dustin. But in terms of the full length of a college baseball season, when you talk about a 56-game regular season, an SEC tournament, a regional, a super regional, and an Omaha run, you might be talking about playing upwards of 70-plus games this year. And so you need two guys at that position to be able to play that many games. And we have a lot of confidence in Marshall Gilbert and Dustin Skelton, but we're going to let it kind of play out here this last week of the season, but have a lot of confidence in both of those guys, and both of them are certainly going to play.
So with Luke at short, where are you at third?
Yeah, somebody will definitely play third.
TBA then? TBA?
No, we retired TBA. He's out with Tommy John. Third base, we've got several outstanding candidates over there. I think a guy that has played extremely well as of late is a freshman, Tanner Allen from Mobile, Alabama. Outstanding young left-handed hitter. He's an extremely tough out each and every time he's at the plate. Tanner was an infielder / outfielder in high school and in summer ball. He's a guy that has been working exclusively at third base here the last couple of weeks. We feel with a lot of confidence that he's going to be able to play that position at a high level. You've got another freshman by the name of Justin Foscue. That's a big, strong, physical kind of kid that can certainly play some third base as well. Another freshman, Rowdy Jordan, could certainly get some innings at third base as well. Although I kind of think that Rowdy's probably going to start the season playing left field for us. Just with his combination of speed and athleticism, being able to run balls down the line or in the gaps. I love the fact that he can run, take hits away in the outfield, and being a switch hitter, certainly can do some things offensively to create some runs and help us score. But in terms of third base, I would say right now, if we played tonight, I would probably play Tanner Allen at third base and feel really comfortable about him there, and certainly him comfortable in the batter's box, being able to do some damage at the plate for a young kid.
Coach, I know you said in the fall that you're going to try to Brent Rooker, a little bit Elijah McNamee, let him play some first base.
Sure.
Is that something that you think is going to stick to this point?
I'm glad we did that in the fall, because I think it just created some versatility for Elijah. Whether or not he starts the season as our starting first baseman or not, he's either going to play first base or right field. Freshman Josh Hatcher has been outstanding for us the last couple of weeks at first base. Left-handed thrower, left-handed hitter. He's going to be a tremendous hitter here at Mississippi State. He's a guy that's continued to get better and better with each time. So if Hatcher's the guy that ends up winning the job at first, then McNamee will slide out to right field, where he's continued to get better and better as an outfielder each and every day too. So I feel like we've got some tremendous options all over the field this year. I like our group of veteran players I mentioned earlier, McNamee in that category. But I would probably bet that at some point during the course of the season, Mac will certainly play some first base. Whether he starts at first or right, I'm not sure yet, but I know one thing, he'll certainly be hitting in the middle of the order for us.
Jay, when Andy mentioned Hatcher and how good he was, I think I saw your head shake up and down. What do you like about him?
Mentally, as a freshman, the hardest thing to do is, being able to handle failure. And Hatcher has the mindset that I know if he's going to go out there on Friday night against Southern Miss, for example, if he has a bad opening night, I know Saturday he's going to be able to flush it and he'll have good at-bats. And that says a lot, as a freshman, for him to be able to do that. It says a lot about him and his makeup. And he's produced, when we played in squad games on the field.
I want to follow up the question. Did you see that in the fall, or did you see him when he came back in the preseason?
He's always had that mindset since I've met him, But this spring, I think the most important time as a college player is that Christmas break, your freshman year. It slows down a little bit in the fall. Everything, you run around with your head cut off, just trying to not, get yelled at. And
I don't do that much yelling.
not you. I'm saying.
Yeah, come on, man.
But yeah, that Christmas break freshman year, it does a lot for you. I think it's the most you mature as a player and as a person. And he came back definitely, ready to go. He knew he had a job he could possibly win, and like Kenny said, he's done that so far.
Robbie.
Hey Jake, hadn't had a chance to talk to you since summer, but you were projected kind of high and draft eligible during the summer. What kind of went into that decision to come back for your junior season?
0-4 in a super regional. No way I'm gonna leave after that. Go 0-2 at home, 0-2 on the road. I'm not in it on that. Bill, he'll agree with me. It ain't fun, and we want to go to Omaha, and that's all we've been doing since August. Get ready for that.
Hey, Andy, do you mind going into the details of the health of your pitching staff at the moment?
Sure. I had mentioned earlier, just how deep in terms of that list of potential candidates are going to be. I think last year we went into the Super Regional at LSU with 5 or 6 healthy arms on our whole team. I mean, that's just 5 or 6 guys that actually had a jersey that could literally huck it up towards home plate at the end of the season. And so here we are now at the beginning part of the season, and I feel like we're, a solid double-digit 10, 11, 12, 13 type of, pitching staff that can help us win ball games. We had a setback the other day with Spencer Price. Spencer will miss the season this year. Will be required to have Tommy John surgery. So that's certainly a tough break for Spencer and obviously our club, because he did such a great job a year ago saving ball games at the end of the season. But I can tell you that we've had several guys that have returned from injury that I feel really confidently that is going to be able to step up and be able to have some production and performance in those types of roles. Just the other day, Keegan James threw outstanding. He threw 3 shutout innings the other day, up to 93 miles per hour with a really good breaking ball and a feel for a changeup. He is certainly a welcomed addition to our staff this year. Big, strong, physical kid, strike thrower, going to work ahead in the count with 3 pitches. Blake Smith made his first appearance last weekend in over a year. Was up to 90 with that same slider that he showed 2 years ago for the year SEC champion, 2016 team. And obviously Ethan Small is another addition to our staff this year. So those are arms that are going to be with us this year that didn't have a jersey last year, that weren't with us, weren't available to pitch. And so just feel really good about what we're doing on the mound right now. I think Coach Henderson has done a terrific job getting our guys ready to pitch. Basically, if you have the opportunity to stand in there and watch him work in the bullpen each and every day, or watch him work in the office on film review, mechanics, pitch sequence, why are we doing certain things, I truly believe he's one of the best pitching coaches in the country, and we are extremely lucky and fortunate to have Gary with us each and every day. And I know for a guy like myself, he's a tremendous sounding board in the office each and every day. Really lucky to have him, God, am I glad we got that guy.
Jake, how has this team kind of embraced the road warrior mentality that you're going to have to face over this first month?
That goes out to Coach Neal. Brian Neal, our strength and conditioning coach. He, since August, has been like most he's pushed us, in my 3 years here, and he's really gotten the new guys mentally tougher since August, and he's pushed us every day. Tons of 6 a.m. workouts when it was literally freezing, and we're running outside and up hills and sledding down them and running them back up. It's been a grind, and that goes out to him. He has mentally gotten everyone stronger. And our first home game March 6th. Until then, we're going to be ready to go on the road.
Konnor, how good can this team be this season? I mean, you look at last year, it had a big regional down at Southern Miss, but how good can you think this team can be this season?
As good as we can believe we can be, this team's going to push each other. You go day to day, and I see these guys every single day. The work ethic and the confidence that this team has is not like it was the last 2 years. We had big guys, big name guys come through this program the last 2 years, but the confidence and the self-talk and the everything about this team and the makeup about this team is really going to be what strives us and gets us to the next, the next game, the next pitch, and all that. We're really going to take it one game at a time, one pitch at a time. But with all that being said, you got to look you can't look at the big picture. You can't look at Omaha and all that right now. You got to look at it as, okay, we're going to start off in Hattiesburg, we're going to start off with Southern Miss on a Friday night, and go from there. We're going to take it one game at a time, and that's, everybody has that mindset right now.
Anything else for these three? All right, thanks.
Thank you guys for coming.